for a wander in one of our favourite places on top of them all. It's just started raining. Typical Yorkshire summer. But this video is all about something a little bit different. And you know, when you think you've got everything in your van, or even in your life, and you see something and you think, I quite fancy one of them. Well, I've had one sent to review, and I've also got one sent to give away as well. Let me show you what it is. Well, you've probably noticed by the thumbnail now. Come on, you two. Hup, 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 hup. Yeah, it's a good job we got the cover on the bed, isn't it? Else it'll all be wet from your sticky paws. You'll get a punch and milk treat, and we're going to have a fancy coffee. This is what we've got to review. STARESSO Discovery 2, which is a coffee grinder, so I can have proper posh coffee in the camper van instead of, do you know when you have a jar of coffee and it gets damp and it goes into one lump? I tend to get a lot of that in my van. And we have a manual espresso pump that was sent with it for me to keep and use. This one's mine, and this one's going to be a giveaway to one of our subscribers. So there's a chance for you to have posh coffee in your camper van, or wherever you're going to be. And with this, I reckon you could take it camping as well. I could see me putting that in a rucksack, taking it out middle of nowhere with a jet boiler, making myself a posh coffee. Moved on from a jar of coffee that goes rock hard and you have to chip bits off, to these sachets, which are not bad, but it's certainly not quality coffee. Bought myself some Italian coffee. I didn't realise I'd bought so much, there's a kilo there. I'm getting really posh with the coffee, but you can't take the hull out the kid. Still got a pot noodle. I need to think of something classy to have with a coffee rather than a pot noodle. Joe's there with a chocolate biscuit and the Whippets and a cup of tea. You're not a fan of coffee, are you?
No, I like tea and coffee.
You're snuggled up there. Managed to get back before it rained, didn't we? So this is what it looks like. Comes in a lovely box, well packed. Comes with a little carrying case, which will be good. I will take this out at some point, camping with me or just walking with the dogs, and make some posh coffee when I'm out and about. Comes with a brush to clean the grind off, and I think that's to tamper down the coffee. An instruction book which tells you which grinds are for which type of coffee. Now, it's fair to say that I'm not a coffee expert in any way, and I've been learning about this. There's a lead it comes with, charges from USB, fits in there, USB-C, it's got a button on the top. Well made, it's machined, I think it's aluminium. It's got a unit on the bottom there, which is the cup which catches your grind. But if you're travelling and going out or just taking out for a walk, you could put your coffee beans in there and you put them in the top, put that back on the bottom, and your grind will end up in the bottom of there. This piece unlocks, that's where your coffee beans go, and you can see in there the actual blades. And there's a dial on here, you press in and rotate it, and it's got different numbers on it, and it tells you which coffee grind is best for which number. And in this book, as I mentioned, it says in here which settings to have it on for which grind. This all comes apart, by the way. You can undo it all. This undoes. You can unscrew this. It all comes apart to clean if you need to. And this bit at the top is the motor. So it's battery powered. Took about an hour or so to fully charge. And I think, I'm trying to remember what it said in the instructions now, but I think it'll do 3 coffees a day for a week. So it'd be ideal for camping. It's got a little button on the top which turns that motor. Obviously got a rechargeable battery in the bottom. The spline on there fits onto here, like so. And that's where your grind comes out at the bottom. It's got indicators on the top. It tells you how much power is when you're charging it, so you know it's fully charged. So the instructions tell me to add 20 grams of coffee beans. Now, I haven't got any skills in the van, so I'm going to put a couple of teaspoons full in there. There is a level in there. Hopefully that'll do it. That smells amazing. just going to get some coffee beans out. Smells so nice. Just opening that bag, it's a fresh bag, I haven't used any of that yet. It makes the camper fan smell delicious. I'm going to pour them in there. Put that many in, don't know if that's enough. I think that's about 20 grams as a guess. That goes on the bottom to catch the grind, and this sits on the top. And then we just press. Not overload. The actual blades inside there look quality. Made out of some sort of stainless. Oh, that's it. So when it's ground and it spins fast, that must be it. It must know it's complete. Then it switches itself off. The moment of truth. Oh, look at that. Now it did say you can wet the beans slightly to stop any static, and I think that's what's happened here. That's probably why you get this brush. Maybe I should have tapped it as well before I opened it. This is the first time I've used it. Oh, still smells lovely. Now I obviously could just use it in this, but they did send me this press. It's especially for espressos, and this is a lovely engineered piece of kit as well. I'll just put my ground coffee to a side, and then here there must be a lot of engineering went into designing these. You get an instruction book and you get another little brush which is similar to the ones that come with a grinder, and you get this. There's a little cup in there as well, so I would imagine that's to scoop your coffee into the actual unit at the bottom, which I'll show you in a minute. So this is very well made. There's a lot of thought gone into this. Comes apart like this. That's where your water goes. This piece at the top is the pump to pressurise it and to force the water through the coffee that you've ground. And then at the bottom you have a cup that unscrews, and you have this unit that you put your grind in, and there's a filter there for the water. Your coffee sits in that, you tamper it down, that sits into there, and then once you push this plunger down through the unit, it pushes the water through the coffee and it comes out that little spout at the bottom into your cup, and it all comes apart so you can undo everything to give it a quick rinse and clean it out. All the bits and pieces fit in the bottom, and it all looks to be extremely good quality stainless. Very well made. I do like when things are well engineered, and this is like a drip tray that fits under the bottom. So once you've had your cup under and you've got your coffee out, you can put that underneath to catch any drips. Or I suppose if you're in the middle of nowhere, you could actually use that as your espresso cup. Grind into there. You can buy lots of accessories that you see in these posh coffee shops for tampering this down and putting little holes in the top, but yeah, I suppose you can go as far as you want. It's like a chemistry experiment, isn't it? It's like an art form. And there we go. Coffee's in there. Now this sits, get this the right way around, that sits in there. That screws in the bottom of here, like so. Pull the legs down, well, that's it. Still a bit of ground left in there, so my guesswork wasn't too bad. I'll just put this under there so you can see it coming through. So you put your water into here, boiling water, and there are measures in there. And you put this on top, screw it down, and you do a few pumps first of all to pressurise the system. The coffee should start to come out soon. There we go. Look at that. Oh, it smells absolutely delicious. They say if you're selling your house, you bake bread and put fresh coffee on. You can see why. Pour it into a cup so we can have a look. Pour it into that glass. It's like Guinness. I bet this is going to be rocket fuel. It says on that bag the strength is 5 beans, the roast is 4, and the acidity, that's easy for me to say, is 1. Time for the taste. I'm going to try it like that, and then I'm going to add some more hot water. Well, that is strong, as you'd expect from an espresso, but it tastes delicious. Now I want that to last me a bit longer, because I'll just swig that off straight away, so I'll just put some more boiling water into that and have a decent sized coffee. And as I understand it, as I say, I'm not an expert in coffee, but espresso is supposed to be the base of all the coffees. So when you get all these fancy names of the different coffees, it starts off with an espresso and you add your milk and your chocolate and whatever else you put into them for all those fancy names. I still struggle when I go for buy coffee from a shop. I'll say, can I have a black coffee please? And they'll go, Americano? Yeah, black coffee. Smells lovely. The van smells lovely. It's very creamy. There's no bits in the bottom either. Do you know when you use like a traditional cafetiere? And that's worked well. The size of the filter in the actual unit must be good. Anyway, let's put some more water in and try it again. There we go, I added some more hot water. Still smells delicious. Very nice indeed. So I can have home ground fresh coffee in my camper van. And as I say, when I take the dogs for a walk, I might take a jet boil with me so I can boil some water, take the grinder or just some grind and the press. Could have a nice coffee sat out in the sun if summer ever arrives. Cleaning's pretty well straightforward. Shake the rest of the grind out the grinder, which is hardly anything left in there. As I say, this all does unscrew and come apart, so after a period of time you can clean it properly and take it all apart to get in and clean it, but I don't think I need to do that this time. Wash out the little drip tray, and this comes apart, unscrews from the bottom. That bit's relatively clean. I need to scoop that out and put it in a bag to get rid of it, because I don't want that going down the sink. I reckon this coffee's that strong you could probably put another fair few pints of water through that. I'm going to use a poo bag. And that comes out nice and clean. There's not much on there. That's clean. This comes apart. There's a little spring in there. A little plunger. That's the resistance. And this comes apart as well. So you can completely clean everything, and I think that just basically needs a rinse. It's definitely well thought out. I'm just drying all these bits off with a piece of kitchen roll. Put it back together, ready for the next go. And this is literally the first time I've used this. So I read the instructions, had a look at the University of YouTube, and then had a go as you've seen it. Well, there they are, all back together, ready for when I need to show off and make a posh coffee. So I'm still finishing my coffee off. I've topped it up again with that last bit of grind. I feel somewhat sophisticated now. So as I say, if you want to win one of these, it's just this, the grinder, the electric grinder, the Discovery 2 from STARESSO. This one is a giveaway. You need to be a subscriber, you need to live in the UK, and in the comments of this video you need to leave the words "I want one," and we'll cover the postage and get it out to you after we've chosen somebody random who to win it. And we'll announce it in a future video, and we'll put a clip of the winner's comment in there to prove that it's been chosen from somebody who's entered. So you'll get this. It's not been opened, it's brand new, but in the description there'll be all the prices, any links, any discount codes, and you can get quite a few other accessories from this. So if you want to turn your camper van or your camping or your walking experience or even your kitchen into a posh coffee making place without buying one of them bloody great big machines you see in the coffee shops, check them out. And that just leaves me to say thanks for watching, and I better take the Whippets out. We'll see you on the next one. I feel somewhat more sophisticated now I've moved into this class of coffee. Would you like to come back to my camper van for an espresso?
I like coffee, I prefer Yorkshire tea.
Well, that didn't work, did it?